We are recording. Here is my mic. Here are my notes. So again, I am blessed to be in a hotel. What a life. Imagine I am volunteering at this point in my life. Podcast is created in good faith to expand the knowledge about inclusivity. Terminology, definitions, concepts, and attitudes may change over time. That's why some expressions may not always reflect the most inclusive language. Both the creator, me, and the audience are teachers and students together. Presented content is not intended to offend, discriminate, or harm any individual or group. Hi, my name is Linda. I am from Latvia. I am a part of Project Inclusivity Unlocked 2, and this is podcast notes on. And on this episode, we will talk about more on how people are kind to the stranger, to the other. What is kindness fundamentally, right? Of course, there could be many definitions. What constitutes the kindness within yourself? Is that a virtue? Is that something people want to have? By being a volunteer in ESC, we spend time reflecting. Oh my God! So regarding my status right now as a volunteer in the European Solidarity Corps in Romania, in project where we create podcasts and what else. Oh my God. By being a volunteer in ESC, we spend time reflecting and talking about our experiences with volunteering, but also experiencing different cultures coming into our daily lives and how interactions changes. Volunteering for me seems to actively be kind and helpful, seeking, seeing, noticing situations and solving them. But is volunteering an act of kindness? Am I kind if I do volunteering? Also, what is volunteering? And for this, I looked it up. Oxford Dictionary says, to volunteer means to offer to do something without being forced to do it or without getting paid for it. And the thing is, we are kind to our friends, family, workmates, where relationship matters. But what about volunteering where we help the stranger, the other, the one we don't have personal relations with? How to be kind, what it means to be kind. What type of person is kind? Why do we offer to do something without being forced or without being paid for it? To help me understand better, I interviewed trainers from National Network of Trainers for Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps within the Romanian National Agency.
Hi, my name is Mihaela. I live in Bucharest, but I'm Moldavian by heart. Those who were born there understand what I'm saying. And I've been collaborating with the national agency and the capacity as a trainer and facilitator for national and international events for the past 14 years, I guess.
I'm Alina Mustață. I'm in the pool of trainers of the national agency since 2007. And I'm from Brașov now. I'm originally from Bucharest. I love to meet new people on arrival or midterm meetings. It's amazing when you get to know young people volunteering in Romanian communities. It's really amazing.
When I asked Mihaela about how she understands kindness and politeness, she said this.
I would just go with what I learned, the reflection throughout the years. I will speak about the first thought that came into my mind, that for me at least, and this is what I'm trying to teach others in my work, it's first of all about you. So when I'm trying to decide if someone is kind or polite, first I look at myself. I try to put my own lenses, even though the hardest struggle is not to label people, not to judge people. We naturally tend to do it.
We
all psychologists say this. The studies have been done a lot on this topic, and no matter how much we work, and we work with these topics in these volunteering projects, not to label people, how to overcome or not to stereotype, to be prejudiced, to discriminate, and so on and so forth. It's a natural tendency to look at these aspects, because being kind and polite are two things that actually influence a lot human-to-human relationships. So what I've learned about myself throughout the years working with these concepts is that, first of all, I need to be kind and polite with myself, because if I'm harsh with myself, I'll definitely be harsh with you also.
And after her response, I thought about it. Of course, we need to be kind to ourselves, and then we can be kind to others. And something like this, in a pure sense, also happened to me. So the story goes, I was in Riga, and I was buying medicine for my sister in pharmacy. And I knew I don't have the loyalty card. And as I was about to pay, a lady approached me and she said, "Do you need the card?" And I looked at the pharmacist and I said to her, there is no discount, right? She said, "No." And I'm like, "But at least she will get some points." And the pharmacist said yes. So I was like, "Lady, if you want to lend me your loyalty card, sure." But the thing was, she came herself to help because she recognized an issue that can be solved. Like, she had something that I don't have, and she was willing out of her own will to come and help, right? And she gave the loyalty card, got her points, and I was like, thank you, I'm out. But something so kind, so little happened to me, and I still remember it. About this pharmacist thing that I want to also mention is that she recognized that she had the privilege and I did not have. And she willingly inserted herself in the situation and used her privilege. Of course, she asked me for consent. "Do you want loyalty card?" And I said yes, so it's consensual. And the nuance about this is that you need to know the context of situations in order to be kind. Because if you're blindly kind, you can hurt yourself and the other person, right? So she knew the context of being in Latvia, in Riga, in pharmacy, an unwritten rule about loyalty cards that we have in our culture. For example, if you are in any type of shop and if you don't have the loyalty card and you can get like discount, sometimes you will turn around and ask, "Hey, do you have the card?" It has happened to me, and I have asked many times to the others. Practical cultural thing that is happening in Latvia. Probably in other countries too. You insert because we also understand that you need to save money. So that's why this cultural phenomena exists, because we all want to save money. And with this, Immanuel Kant has this universal law, which is like a golden rule, that you do something for others as you wish they would do also for you. So you don't lie because you hope they will also not lie. You give loyalty card because you hope in need they will also give you a loyalty card for the purchase. So her action, even though super small, super everyday, is practicing her universal law, her own maxim, her own duty. Because giving discount, she might gain no points, no nothing. I would gain something because it's her duty to help out. Based on pharmacy lady behavior, it falls into the behavior which can be seen as willing sacrifice. Sacrifice? Sacrifice? This is a new noun. This is a new idea. What's about it? I thought about what kindness means to me, and I realized I hold this high expectation for kindness. For me, being kind means to embody idealized characteristic trait. To possess kindness means to be selfless and willing to give with the risk that nothing beneficial will be gained. All or nothing type of action. Super selfless, but willing. I always thought that kindness is sacrifice, willingly given service out of which I personally gain nothing but the other gains positive change in their life. It is something of religious nature to give without waiting for personal rewards, yet the rewarding feeling is that a person's life was uplifted. A sacrifice idea, that you willingly go and do something else for the other without waiting to gain anything out of it, goes a little bit against Kant's moral system. In the sense where he writes in the groundwork for the metaphysics of morals, in the section here, morally worthy action that is done from duty should not be mixed with any inclinations. Meaning you do an action just because it has to be done. Just because it's your universal law. As soon there is ounce of desire, of inclination of honor, fear, pride, mixed into the action that is done out of the duty, It's not morally worthy anymore. It's not clean anymore. It's mixed with something selfish. You can uplift and bring joy to other people in the room. So what? You're just a nice person. So what Kant writes? That there is no kindness in duty, which in fact holds moral worth. You do a duty because you have to, not because you desire to do so. One of the main duties for Kant is to stay alive and provide happiness to yourself. In one of the seminars in university, we discussed this specific section, okay? And there is a part where we dived more deeply into about philanthrope type of a person and contrast to that unhappy person. And philanthropist, although does actions out of duty, they are mixed with self-interest. We can mention, even Kant doesn't write about it, but still I kind of think we need to mention it, is that the power dynamic of a philanthropist type of person. Someone who is able, privileged, reaches down to help a worse situated person, as if it implies the prince on the white horse comes to rescue the princess, and it can only happen from princess POV, because they are prince. They think they are saving the princess. They are the hero. They are the ones who will make the day better just because they are the prince who is capable to do so. The economy between more privileged and less privileged. The philanthropist type of person. But you see, there is this intention that I am more opulent, I am more able, well, you are not, so I will take off my white gloves and help you plant these flowers, or will give you money to buy these flowers, or will make sure that there are workers who will help you plant these flowers because I can and you cannot. And then we have this philanthropist on one side of the table. On the other side of the table, we have the unhappy person who can make actions purely from duty, in which these actions will never be mixed with inclinations and self-seeking aims, meaning there will be no fear, cowardness, pride, desire, nothing mixed. An example is a mother who is struggling, wants to end all this suffering, yet she stays alive and takes care of her children because it is her duty. She is taking care of children out of duty, meaning it is the morally right thing to do so. Only unhappy people in Kant's world can do purely action out from duty without any mix. And that has a super, uber cute moral worth. And that type of action is morally worthy. They are morally righteous people. They bite their teeth and they do the thing. The mother, tired, depressed, frustrated, bites her teeth and washes those children, makes them food, brings them to school, out of duty. She would desire not to do so. It feels like something against her will, right? But she knows it's right. It's her duty, her responsibility. And if we follow Kant's idea, volunteering is somewhat similar to being a what? The unhappy one or the philanthropist? Philanthropist, the friend of humanity, where it seems that they are doing something selflessly to others and taking joy in others' joy because the one initiated has no true moral worth. It is suiting an inclination, like an honor. When I presented this issue, Alina gave me a new perspective.
I told you in the beginning of this meeting that I'm born in the 5th of December, that is the International Day of Volunteering, and I reflected a lot on that question, being myself a volunteer for years. And I thought about myself, am I selfish? Because when you do volunteering, you think that you do selfless.
You give and give, yeah.
You give and you give. But for sure, what I experienced and what I see in every volunteer that I worked with is they develop a lot. So the journey of volunteering gives you a lot. You start maybe believing you, and today I thought about the previous question. I see a lot of kindness in every volunteer, and it's like living the values we speak about, these European values and the solidarity, that it's about kindness and giving to communities. And I see that as not as a word, as a living proof in every volunteer. And maybe you start with this idea that you only give, but in fact, it is this balance that you also receive and learn a lot, and you develop yourself.
I think there is this with acts of kindness and volunteering that the main goal, the reason, the meaning should be giving, and if you receive, that's a good thing for you too. But it's not always guaranteed, because for some people, like, they would do it for ego. They would give in order to gain some kind of status, some kind of approval. But I think for us here in EEC, but in general in volunteering, it's like rather I want to give. I'm in such a privileged position that I can give, so I will give. And if I receive, then it's good.
Yeah, I think this is usually the first impulse, to just give. This is the idea. Then consciously, but yeah, at a deeper level, maybe we don't realize we need something, and that's why we decide to give. But this is more deeper, on a deeper level.
Yes.
When we decide to volunteer and to give, we really need some things in the process.
She said, yes, volunteering, there is a selfish part. And Alina says, in deeper level, we need something, so that's why we give. This last sentence, the last part of Alina's answer, made me think in a good way, okay? Volunteering, in fact, can be seen for such POV that you help a stranger, and in cathartic way, you also help yourself. This is how I interpreted what Alina said. And being in position where you willingly choose a thing, you choose to help, and see somebody being helped, seeing that somebody's life is getting better in cathartic way, you also feel helped. Catharsis is from ancient Greek plays, where Aristotle writes about this. Catharsis was a specific feeling that you release. The play brought you to a certain emotional state. It bursts and you might cry or feel a relief. See a good play, it makes you cry, that's cathartic. Because it's not happening to you, it's happening to other people, but you feel empathetic, you believe the story. So even here, you help the other and you see how they're happy about it or their lives are being improved, and that reaction from your work could also be cathartic, can be therapeutic experience. Okay, hot take. We take what is hot. Exactement. Précisément. A thought I had that I will somewhat explain, but will not defend further. Pew! Let's get into it. So I watched one battle after another, the Oscar-winning movie, and in the first 20-ish minutes, I noticed that the soundtrack is not friends with the visual language that is implemented in this artwork of a movie, of the film, because it's a good qualitative artwork, very compelling visual language, composition, editing, color grading, the dynamic, how it is edited, pace, very unique. And then the soundtrack just was not improving, not excelling. It was throwing off. It was giving a different vibe. Not to say that the soundtrack was not qualitative. It did just not match with the visuals. Multiple times. It happened multiple times. It's a good movie nonetheless, but that's my hot take. This original soundtrack did not cut it for me. So it happened to me in the streets of Sofia. Last year. In Bulgaria, yes. I walked, it was my first day, like full first day when I walked to the city center. And as I walked on the street, there was this man laying on the ground. like a beggar begging for money. But how he begged was that he revealed his leg with an open wound with blood. And my initial, like, inside heart says, help them. But then the other side says it's a trick. They specifically present themselves
And that's this way
as to gain pity. So what would be the right thing to do? Ignore, or like go up to him, have a conversation to participate in the scam?
But
if it's a scam, I don't know.
So for me, this is normality, because I was born in Romania, and in Romania, unfortunately, these things happen also. I've seen them since I was a kid. For me, it's not a shock anymore, because the beggars, mafia, let's say, society, they operate like this a lot, unfortunately, in some countries. They mutilate kids or people from that left orphanages or just live on the streets on purpose, so they can gain more pity. Yeah, I would go in any country now. It wouldn't surprise me, because for me it's something that I've seen before. But I learned throughout the years, due to my education, fortunately, to also learn to separate situations. I look at people's faces. I look at it. If I really see like some struggling kids, or sometimes I give them. But what I like to do also, for example, to be in the middle, when you said, should I think what to do? Should I help them or just go away? And because a lot of beggars, for example, in Romania, like in Bulgaria also, they come even with open wounds like that when you drive and when you are at the stop.
Yeah, shameless. Like they have no shame that that's the way they live.
Yeah. So if it happens that there's enough time at the stoplight and they really touch me, then I have something to give, right? But I know sometimes I heard a study the other day, some people, some psychologists that really did this study. So people give to beggars according to the time that they have. If they are in a super hurry, just walking on the streets, if they rush towards somewhere, they will not stop. If they are not rushing, then they will have a reflection and judgment moment, maybe, should I give or not give, or they just give. So it all depends on, actually, this is the selfless act that comes. First, it's me, because I have a deadline. I have to be with my kids at school at a certain hour, so there's no time to stop and take money from the bag and give them. So it's fine. I'll do it tomorrow, right? And I found it very interesting that actually acts of giving, mercy, has much more factors behind it. And first of all, of course, it's us. Because if you really go beyond this, if you really want to help someone, you won't do just that. Just give, I don't know, €1 to a beggar.
Full program.
You will go, and do a volunteering service. You will become a professional. If you're really your heart is into that, do you give, but this way you support this system, or you don't give at all, hoping that the system will stop? And I heard studies saying, and specialists in this saying, no, unfortunately, system will not stop at all.
Yes.
I would take the example of United States. Some relative of mine went to States and they were shocked. In San Francisco, in Miami, the beach, you don't see them during the day. Maybe you don't realize because you do the touristic stuff. But in the morning and in the afternoon, because they go to sleep on the beach because it's warmer.
Yes.
Thousands of homeless people. In super, super rich cities. So no matter how, I personally think that no matter how rich the society or developed will become, this beggars issue will not disappear. So then maybe think like that next time. Should I help this person or not? It's not their fault. They're being exploited. Another thing that I do sometimes, I tell them, I don't have money, but I have some food. Do you want it?
Yes.
Guess what? 20% at least. They refuse.
Yeah, they're like, no.
Yes, because it's a job for them, because they need to bring money back to their boss.
I talked to my friends and family about this situation, and they expressed similar approach as to what Mihaela explained. Yes, we have a good heart. Yes, we are willing to help. But then you need to evaluate the situation. But how do you evaluate? What is the maxim that you follow? What is virtues you hold? What type of person you want to be? To be kind or to save yourself and do other things?
But this in time showed me that leaving myself to the end, it's not a real solution. And coming back, it's a balance to keep. It's
choosing battles.
Yes, choosing battles, maybe, yes. But you have to also think about your time, your energy, being kind all the time, giving all the time. It's not doing anyone good.
No.
So when I think about kindness, it's having this ability to connect really with a person, even if it's a beggar. For me, for example, I don't give because I studied social work, and I understood that you don't help them really by giving money, for example. This is not kindness. This is, when you look at the whole system, you understand better. But from time to time, I stop also. I offer food. I connect to the people. To be able to be kind, you need to be good, as Mihaela said in the beginning. You need to be good inside. And this is a tough job, a necessary job. You cannot be kind without being good with yourself.
Thing also is, when we talked about the lady in the pharmacy, she knew the context, the unwritten rules of society. Because there is this empathetic thing that Kant asks for, which is to imagine yourself in the other situation, where you would be on the other side. Like, please, the maxim could be don't steal. Because you don't want to be thieved. If you steal, then your maxim is that anyone else can also steal from you. Kant wrote, you need to provide happiness for yourself too, in whatever shape it is. You need to stay alive. Are you putting yourself in risk if you help them in the way you think they should be helped? Or is it better to be ignorant and walk away?
To be kind means that you give the power to the other person. You recognize that it has power. Also, the beggar, if you remind somehow that it has a power, you really can be helpful. So kindness, it's also about giving, recognizing that the other has value as a person, and not having this attitude, okay, I will help you, I will be kind to you, and that means I'm somehow superior. Be kind, but empower the other too. Otherwise, it's not real kindness. That's the idea.
And the thing is, every single situation is unique. You cannot have like a strict one type of quote that you will always follow through. Every single time you will have to evaluate the situation and think for yourself and for the other all the time, every day. That is actually happening to you. All the time we have maxims we follow. All the time we have maxims that we propose to ourselves and then ignore because we are self-interested. Even my notes need some doodles. Let's take a break from listening and I welcome you the acronym of the episode. Okay, it's just one acronym, and it goes like this. CUNT. CUNT. There is a UK version, and then there is RuPaul's Drag Race version. And in phonetic alphabet, it is Charlie, Uniform, November, Tango. And for this, I will not explain. It is up to you to find out the meaning. So what we can sum up from this experience? Kindness is not idealized, unreachable, perfect characteristic trait. We practice kindness all the time. And sometimes we might choose not to be kind to save ourselves. To be kind is to benefit others first, then yourself. To be kind can be therapeutic, can be cathartic. You need to choose your battles, have to decide if the effort will lead to a productive end. To give to the other, it is suggested to understand the context of situations. Because if you are fallen from the moon, you might bring more harm to yourself and to others. Oh, I only wanted to help you. And on this note, I want to thank for our guests, and thank you for speaking about kindness.
Thank you for asking such courageous questions. Yeah, and thank you for talking to us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Khaled, for being operator. Yes, I need good luck, honestly. We all need some good luck. So, we are in a familiar place, ain't we? In a hotel room. I know. I am pretty lucky and happy to be here. I'm hearing about other people's experiences, and that is a little bit shocking, a little bit tea, a little bit drama of knowing what is going on behind the scenes.